Catch this and other podcasts of Super Talk 1270 online at supertalk1270.com.
Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Let's head back to the studio and join the conversation.
Thank you, Mia. And just like she said, if you want to follow what we're talking about today with all the free things that Jim and I were just talking about, go to thetechranch.com. I will be posting about that later on. On the phone with me today for our weekly
That was a mighty short year since last Monday.
Our weekly update with Ken Sanders with the Volt Report. Ken, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Marlo. Thanks for asking. How you doing?
I'm doing fine as well. Having a little fun over here in North Dakota, So, anyway, we've been kind of teasing the people a little bit about. I want to get to the big news, but first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the transparent solar panels. So, why don't you tell everybody listening about what these things are?
These things are awesome.
Boy, we're following the drugs we were talking about a little while ago here. Yeah. No. These are awesome, man.
Wow, man.
Awesome, dude. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's totally awesome. You get these windows and you put some solar stuff on them and you get this electric generating effect. It's real awesome, man.
Oh, too funny. Okay, so it's a layer of what that goes over the top of the window?
It's a layer of photovoltaic polymer mixed with like nano wires of silver that are translucent. And what these little, film layers pretty much do is they catch the spectrum of light that we can't see. So like the ultraviolet and the infrared light is captured and harnessed for energy, whereas the wavelength that we do see just passes right through, more or less.
So is a person able to put these over the top of windows that we currently have in place?
Yeah.
And what kind of power is generated from these?
A sufficient amount of power, apparently.
So I'm just throwing some ideas at you here. So let's say I have an east-facing window, and I want to put some of these things on here. I mean, could I charge batteries with a battery charger or something with this, or would I be able to power something in my house? What are we talking about here?
Okay. Yeah, there's domestic applications for them that we'll use as an example here. So when you have a domestic solar power generation, you have the panels initially installed on your house, or installed, and then you have a battery somewhere in your house that is distributed throughout the house's
Gotcha.
room, through the fuse box, whatever.
Yep. So
Right.
so this is something basically that if you want to install these on your windows, you could actually put them on your own internal grid and power whatever you wanted to, your television or lights or what have you.
Exactly.
Interesting. Any cost? Do you have any idea what these things are going to cost when they come out?
From what I read, the cost is actually going to be substantially less than what the panels made of silicon are going to cost, because it's a polymer base. It's like a plastic, plastic.
You've got to be kidding me. So they're actually going to cost less than solar panels do now?
Yeah, they're going to cost less and be more applicable because they're flexible. So.
And there's all kinds of windows all over the place to put these on.
Yeah, we have an abundance of windows.
So does it actually tint the window a little bit, or is it like an optically clear?
I believe that's something that they're working in the MIT and UCLA labs right now to clear up. It doesn't really appear like it's 100% transparent. Like they say that the light that gets through is about 70%.
Well, I think for most people, Ken, that would probably be okay. I'm actually looking at a photo right now, the one that you have posted at the Volt Report, and it looks like it has two little squares of this product, looking at a taller building. The one is a little bit more tinted than the other, so maybe maybe you can add a little tinting to it or what have you.
I would imagine if you wanted to modify it so that you're actually, so that you're customizing how much of the UV particles or anything is actually getting through.
This is very, very cool stuff. I'm anxious to see this come out. I'm a big solar power fan. not to get into politics of things, I'm always looking for if there's a way a person can use green energy and it's economically feasible, I love it. And I think this is something that I think we need to follow and see where the economics of this goes, especially since the cost of this is one of the issues with solar, of course, is that it's so expensive to install, solar shingles or what have you, that it's really tough, over the course of 10 or 20 years to get your cost back out of it. But if you're just installing this over the top of windows you already have installed in your house or your commercial building or whatever, this is very, very exciting.
Yeah. Game changer.
All righty, sir. Let's talk about Sky City. I really want to hear about this.
Oh, man. So let me set the stage real quick.
Okay.
All right. It's 2013. And recently surpassed in the human population was the amount of people living within the city versus people living outside the city, right?
Okay.
All right. So we have an abundance of people in these building populated areas, and the buildings are for the most part businesses, office spaces. And then you have this company called Broad Sustainable Building that develops this fast building technology where all of a sudden they can erect a 30-story building in 15 days, which is astounding, right?
That is pretty astounding, yes.
So the leader of this company, Broad Sustainable Building, Zhang Yu, decides to actually build the world's tallest building, the new world's tallest building, with this fast building technology, which basically works like they prefabricate models off-site, like these little modules of steel and concrete, and then they take them to the building site and they stack them up on top of each other.
So is this technology already available, Ken?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So, it's for a few years they've been putting it to work, and it's been successfully been done that they've built these buildings. And there's about 30 of them, I believe, that they've built already.
Interesting.
It's a proven method. And what's not so proven about it, though, is when you get into the depth of this idea that they have to build the new world's tallest building, is that it's not only going to be the new world's tallest building. And when I say that, I mean by 10 meters. They're literally going to beat the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, by just 10 meters. So a lot of people are kind of upset about that because what the building is actually going to be is a vertical city that's going to house somewhere around 100,000 people.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
That's bigger than Bismarck. It is?
It is.
Yeah.
It's literally like taking our area here, Bismarck, Mandan.
I think Bismarck is just under 100,000 now.
Well, it's I think around, I guess I don't know. The metro is about that, though.
I think the latest I heard was about 80,000 for Bismarck.
Yeah.
So it's a small population of a city that's going to be inside this one building.
Okay.
And what they're doing with it is actually upsetting people inside China because of the fact that they're worried about the safety concerns when you have a high volume of people within a technology that's sort of new.
Sure, I can understand that.
Right, yeah. But you have to believe that the intentions of the leader of the company, Zhang Yu, must be good in the sense that what he's trying to do is alleviate kind of the congestion that one might encounter within a city place where there might be dirt, there might be build-up, smog, cars driving around. Here comes this guy with an idea to contain, or not even contain, but facilitate, all those people into one building that's going to obnoxiously be the world's tallest building. It's slightly obnoxious, you got to admit.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, do you have drawings of the building on the Volt Report?
Yeah, in the article that we have up right now, which is actually an update about what's going on with it, which is something about the timing of it. I forgot to mention that they've claimed that they were going to build this building in 7 months and that construction was going to start in June.
Oh, come on. 7 months?
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
But they said they were going to do it, and then they just went full speed ahead with these plans. And I guess they they laid the first spade in July, which is a little bit later, so all the critics are kind of squinting their eyes at it a little bit if they're really going to do it.
So it is actually underway now?
Exactly. They say that some of the permits are kind of sketchy. They have 22 acres of land established for it, but they don't have the permits to build yet.
Okay.
So they're figuring that while they're maybe off-site prefabricating the modules, that they're going to get their permits for it and rush in there and invest about $1 billion in the building this 202-story tall, world's largest vertical city.
Very interesting. Well, Ken, at thevoltreport.com, you're going to have updates going on there. Any last-minute other things that you want to chat about?
Well, we also have at the Volt Report right now, Melina Meow has recently posted about Elon Musk's Hyperloop.
Okay.
Travels about 1,000 miles per hour.
Interesting. Maybe next week we can talk a little bit about the Hyperloop and other things. Ken, we really appreciate you being on the show today, and we look forward to visiting with you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Ken. Jim, have a great week. And we'll talk to everybody same bat time, same bat channel. Come on back, everybody.
Podcasts of this and other shows are now available on supertalk1270.com.